going to show you how I created this 3D animation. I first started off with a photo here. This was provided for an editing challenge on Instagram. And what I did was I used the circular app, which you can see on the top right. I could have also used Roll World, which is another app I have. But I just open it up, go to Photos, browse my photo, cancel. And Photos, browse my photo, I choose that. I click on Done, and it creates an image here. I can rotate the image so that the sign is at the top. I can zoom in a little bit, in or out. I can flip X, flip Y, shift up and down, align it like that, make it a total sphere, increase or decrease the overlap. So I'll make it a little bit so that it's blurred. Also, if I slide the menu to the left in Roll World, I can adjust the convexity. I can do melt, which is create all these funky effects. But in today's one, I'm not planning to use the features. There are blocks, which can do a fragmented kind of effect. Spiral, I haven't tried this before. Tunnel. So there are many effects we can do in circular app. But I think I'll go with this, edit. So on the top right, I'll click on the export and save the photo. I've saved it to my camera roll. So the next thing I'm going to do is open up the app Matter. So this is Matter, the brown squares here. And I will click on the recent photo. Check. And as you can see, the app has got a bunch of shapes predefined here. Then I can go to the next pack. I have an alphabet pack. I can, by pinching it, I can size the letter, and I can, by swiping my finger to the right or left, I can position it in 3D. So what makes Matter unique is that all of these shapes that are predefined are 3D models. In this case, the style is reflective, it's like mirror, but I can go to style. Instead of reflect, I can choose texture wrap. That means the photo itself is being wrapped like a solid thing on the surface. I can choose refract, where it becomes like a glass block and you can see through it. And there are other styles: refract to wireframe, wireframe with dots, edge fade. So there are many different styles. Even the shadow can be adjusted here. So if I slide my finger up, you can see that I can make the shadow higher or lower, and I can adjust the blur of the shadow. The shadow opacity, that can also be adjusted, how dark it is or how faint you want it. You can even mask out areas, but that's for the shadow. So going back to objects, now one of the interesting things about the Matter app, which I just realized, is I have actually purchased what's called the Master Bundle, which included all these different shapes, and these are polygons. But what you can see in the bottom here is it says import OBJ or an object file. So this is what makes this app extraordinarily powerful. That URL is not working, but you can import an object file. So what I did in my edit there was I went to um, Google and typed in Kangaroo OBJ file, Kangaroo object file, and immediately I found a website where you can see there are different OBJ files, and I chose the free one. I actually chose the one on the left, the top left. But there are different 3D models that can be downloaded. Since I already have the Kangaroo on my iPad, maybe I'll download something else. Let me see. And these are in different 3D styles, but the style that we want to use is an OBJ. I'm wondering what I can download as a sample. Some of these objects are paid ones, and presently I don't have a need for buying a paid object. Sci-fi floating city. Okay, this looks interesting. I'll I'll try and download this. So let me click on where do I download it from? Okay, so I click on download here. I click on the zip file. Do you want to download it? I say download. I don't know if it has downloaded that. So to do that, I'll go to my Files app and check my download. Here it is, the floating city. As you can see, it has downloaded a 12 meg zip file. To open the zip file on the iPad, you double tap it, and it will expand. It should expand. Let me try. Let me tap it a single time again. A single tap actually, not double tap. So once I extract the zip file, I usually like to delete the zip file itself so that I save some space. And here you can see there are different folders. Some of these seem to be texture maps for the floating city, and I think this is also doing something here. When I click on it, the megabytes are expanding. I'm not sure if it's unzipping. the 3D object. It created a 39 megabyte file. So I assume this is the 3D model itself. So I'm going back to the Matter app and I'll click on Object. I'll click on the object, which is this square thing here, I think. Where do I add? Import object. Let me click on that. So here it is in the downloads, it was searching for the Kangaroo object. So since I've already done the Kangaroo, I'll go to the floating city, and these are not. So I think this is the floating city 3D object. Import object, I'll say yes. So the Matter app is trying to import the 3D model now. And here you can see it has imported it. So once it's done, I click on yes, I suppose. So you can see that the 3D model which I imported from the internet has been brought into the Matter app. And now I also see that there's it looks like the Kangaroo is also here. So here's the Kangaroo. So that both 3D imported objects are showing up, which is something I didn't know. Now the Kangaroo is in a metallic style. So I can go to the style and change it to glass. Now another interesting thing about Matter app is that if you click on the top right, you can go to video, and it will now start to make a motion. Right now the rotation is in the y-axis, so I can click on X maybe, and even z-axis. So it's or maybe I'll turn off the Y. I can add music, so I press that and I'll choose, let's say, Dream, or I'll choose something faster, funk. Yeah, okay, funk. I click on check mark. Then I can click on hover equals yes. I think hover is already on. To make it jump up and down more. If I want to try the axis, I can turn it X to Y. And this is basically how it created the dancing kangaroo. Once I'm ready, I just click on make video in the bottom, and it takes a few seconds. The video will be saved to the camera roll. I think the video clips are typically 15 seconds long. And there you have it. How to use Matter so let me check my camera roll. Here we go. 15 seconds. So this was the video I just created. I'll uncheck the speakers so you can hear them. So thank you as always for watching the video and following my channel. Thanks.